Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today I just want to do a shorter video of sorts about what I love about wrestling, and especially in 2024 when there's a lot of renewed interest in the industry due to The Rock coming back, obviously the WrestleMania that just happened. I'm wearing my Roman Reigns shirt today. He may have lost the title, but hey, he's still the tribal chief. But, you know, there is a lot of renewed interest in professional wrestling. But, you know, I've been watching for 20 odd years now. I started watching in late 2003, and I've been watching ever since. And what I love about professional wrestling is that it always seems to grip me, the storylines. Now, there has been off periods where I didn't watch wrestling. Obviously, there was a time where John Cena, I was a big fan of John Cena when I started watching. And there was a pay-per-view where John Cena, while he was still Super Cena, or what people called Super Cena, was essentially fed to Brock Lesnar. I think it was SummerSlam 2014, because he would have been coming off, Lesnar would have been coming off the streak after ending the streak at WrestleMania. Was it 2014? This is a good thing about having a wrestling collection. I can go behind me right here, and I can have a look. Was it Extreme Rules? I think it was Extreme Rules. No, it wasn't. That was Bray Wyatt. What pay-per-view was it, guys? It might have been SummerSlam. Was it SummerSlam? SummerSlam, that's the one. Yeah, that one right there. I stopped watching for a couple of years after that one, because there was a reset point of sorts. Like, for years and years, we had got basically more of the same, and when we found out that Cena had lost that one, I took it as like, I mean, I still checked out the Authority stuff and all that stuff. I was still watching wrestling, kind of, but about not long, I kind of lost a bit of interest after Cena got buried. And he was still around, but it's like he was never the same. And then in about I think I basically didn't watch during the whole of 2017, 2018. I did see Cena did work with Roman initially, and I was watching that for YouTube. But there was just so much in wrestling that I just didn't care about. And then, yeah, the renewed interest brought me back. I mean, 2020 really brought me back to the product. I loved seeing how Roman reinvented himself. And I'm one of the guys who was cheering Roman initially when people were booing him out of stadiums. I've got videos from 2016 that when he was in Sydney, you can just hear this whole Kudos Bank Arena. Or was it? It might have been Acer Arena back then, but it's what would be known as the Sydney Superdome for people who are older like me. The Sydney Superdome, that is now Kudos Bank Arena, everyone was booing him in that arena. Roman was getting booed out of the arena. And you can just hear me saying, yeah, come on, Roman, like, come on. And you could just hear these fans getting more and more enraged the more I screamed for Roman. But this is the thing, I am a Roman Reigns fan. I have been a Roman Reigns fan for a while. While people were saying, oh, he's getting forced on us like John Cena. It's like, yeah, but that guy worked freaking hard to get to that level. And yes, you could say Vince chose him. Yes, we know. Vince chose a lot of people. You're telling me that the guy running the company wasn't choosing who was the face of the company? And I get it. Daniel Bryan needed that moment in 2014, and he got that moment. Obviously, Roman won the Royal Rumble, and then... Did Roman win the Rumble? I feel like he won the Royal Rumble, and then The Rock came out and held his hand up, and you just see the look on The Rock's face where he's just like, oh, no, this isn't right. But look, Roman is... and was a great champion. I mean, yes, people say he never defended the thing. So what? Putting the company at... This is the thing. You can talk about, yes, he should defend the title like just defend. You want a fighting champion. Great. We want a fighting champion. But the company stock went up during Roman's reign. And I don't care what anyone says, he was a good champion. He made wrestling... That title felt special when you saw Roman Reigns. He didn't cheapen it from being on SmackDown, Raw, NXT. He didn't cheapen it by being on every show. And that's what I enjoyed. Got kind of annoying because he would never show up. But look, Roman had a great reign. And I don't think we'll see another one like that. I mean, Triple H is in charge. Maybe we'll see another one. I mean, Mummy's still on top after a year. We could have it with Mummy, Rhea Ripley. I'm just saying... She won at WrestleMania. I think she's technically the longest reigning champion in WWE at this point in time, now that Roman's lost his title. Seth Rollins has lost his. I think Mummy is the longest reigning champion in WWE at this point in time. And yeah, Mummy's on top. But this is what I like about wrestling. Yes, there's tribalism in wrestling. So you'll see different camps. I mean, there are wrestling fans for WWE. There are wrestling fans for AEW, this other company called AEW. There are also wrestling fans for TNA, New Japan, Pro Wrestling. There's a lot of other fans. Like, I don't really follow the Australian wrestling scene too much. But, you know, I keep an eye on it here and there. Like, I know Orlando Jordan's big in the Australian wrestling scene. So I keep an eye on what Orlando Jordan's doing. I think he's having a match with Brian Kendrick coming up soon. I might look into how that one goes down. But, you know, you keep an eye on wrestling, other products. People, I know with the tribalism, I don't get the tribalism. I mean, if you want to watch AEW, great, watch AEW. If you want to watch WWE, great, watch WWE. But there's certain pro wrestling journalists out there who really drive this tribalism, and it hurts the TV ratings at the end of the day. Like, I don't get why they do it. I mean, yes, it sells Observer newsletters. I get that. Sorry, I shouldn't say that. But it sells newsletters. I get it. But you're really hurting the product of professional wrestling by doing that. And look, I want a healthy WWE. I want a healthy AEW. I want a healthy TNA. The more choices that these wrestlers have to go to and make their living and earn their craft, the more chance we'll see stars break out in all companies. I mean, yes, AEW has a problem at the moment with what's been coming out about them and what's being said about them. But hey, I'm still liking, like, to an extent, I liked what the former Edge, Adam Copeland, was doing over there. And then, yeah, he was up against Christian Cage, and what else happened over there recently? I think, who's their world title scene at the moment? Is it Samoa Joe? This is the thing, I haven't watched AEW in a while because, to me, it just feels like they spam dream matches at us, and it's like no build. It's just like, oh, by the way, Daniel Bryan's fighting Okada next week. It's like, okay, is there a point? Like, do they have history? Is there something we can tie this to? And it's like, no, we just want to have the dream match. Cool, can you save it to the pay-per-view, perhaps? I want to kind of make it feel special, you know, if you're telling me, I mean, Okada's great. I liked the program Okada had in New Japan with Kenny Omega. That was a decent program. But I just don't like this idea of spamming matches just because. And look, I follow Cornette, I follow Meltzer, I follow all these wrestling people, these wrestling minds, Bischoff. I even follow what Tony Khan says. Like, I follow everything. And I try to understand why decisions are made. But look, that's not what we're on about. I'm just talking about the tribalism. I don't think there needs to be tribalism in wrestling. Like, don't get me wrong, if you need to be a fan, like I'm a Roman Reigns fan, then that's definitely tribalism. But if it furthers a story, get into it. If it hurts the industry, I don't like that. I don't like that it hurts the industry. And people will say, well, you should watch AEW if you don't want to hurt the industry. I watch AEW. I watch it through YouTube because, I mean, the product, I can't sit through AEW these days. I tried, and it's really difficult to sit through AEW. I mean, it feels like, cool, the opening segment, here's Edge, Adam Copeland, and he's coming out to You Think You Know Me, and it's like, it's really cool. And then the next match is just like, and here's the Young Bucks doing something that I don't understand because I don't watch the, Being the Elite. And I used to watch Being the Elite, but then I just fell off. But yes, let's go back to what I love about wrestling. What I love about wrestling is that no matter what side of the fence you're on, AEW, WWE, TNA, whatever, New Japan, we all want to see wrestling do well. And there are some things where you hear shoot interviews, and it's like, oh, this could be done better, and, you know, AEW didn't pick up Punk from the airport in London. Like, little stories like that hurt a company. But, you know, in saying that, CM Punk has the right to say what happened. And now they're saying, oh, but AEW's going to air the footage. And it's like, okay, well, if that's what they need to do to make themselves feel better, great. I personally would have Tony Khan go out on TV and say, look, we know we effed up with Punk. We get it. We did F up. We dropped the ball with that one. But here's what we've done since. we are making it better. And here with the new, because AEW's got a new CEO or something that's going to be looking after the company. I don't know if that means Tony Khan's still booking, but there is a new CEO. And they should just go out on TV and say, hey, we've got a new CEO. We're trying to structure this thing now. We are trying. And most wrestling fans are like, cool, okay, at least you're trying. You're making the effort. But yes, I love wrestling because, well, it's one of the best storytelling mediums I've ever found. Like, I love my movies, as you can tell from my movie collection. Let's turn this around. You can tell from my movie collection over there. I love my movies. And the best movie telling format the best format for storytelling I've ever found is wrestling. And comics as well, and manga. But I love all sorts of stories. And wrestling stories are soap opera in a lot of ways. People say, how can you watch that fake wrestling? You know it's fake, right? You know it's fake. You know that's all fake. Dude, people have been saying that since the 80s. Like, we know the matches are predetermined. Hulk Hogan told us that. Just in case you think you're telling me something new. Hulk Hogan said it in the 90s. We get it. It's predetermined. And predetermined and fake are different. You try jumping off a 20-foot ladder, dude. See if you survive it. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. But you know what I mean? Like, people feel like they're telling wrestling fans something they haven't heard. But the thing is, with wrestling, it is one of the best storytelling methods I've found. And people sit there and watch trash TV these days. Garbage reality shows. Wrestling can... I don't think it's trash. There was definitely eras where it was trash, but I think it's actually at a good point again. I think wrestling has healed. We're seeing a lot of breakout stars now, like LA Knight, yeah, and Jey Uso, yeet. We're seeing people break out now, like Damian Priest, who won the world title at WrestleMania from Drew McIntyre after he beat Seth Rollins. We're seeing Cody, the crowning of Cody Rhodes. So there is a lot happening in professional wrestling these days that looks like it's reinvigorating the product, and the product is re-emerging. And in AEW, I'm looking across the street, people like MJF are... I know MJF is out at the moment, but people like MJF are definitely... his storytelling method is... how do I say this? To non-wrestling fans, there's this thing in wrestling called kayfabe. And that basically means, like, stick to the story, you live the story. And MJF is one of the few still doing that in wrestling. Look, as wrestling's become more social media oriented, people have put more of their personal life out there and just talked. MJF has actually tried to keep kayfabe alive, and I think that's respectable. There are other wrestlers doing it, but I look at stuff like that. I'm like, oh yeah, MJF. If I was to turn on AEW right now, I'll probably watch the MJF segment when he comes back. I'll watch that. Watch what MJF is doing, maybe check out Adam Copeland while I'm there and Christian Cage. And then, I'll probably check out, a match or two of the other talent and see what they're doing. But I want to be entertained, I want to watch wrestling and feel like I'm not insulted. And yes, people say, but you watch WWE, how could you just the WWE mark? Dude, I like good wrestling. I can watch Kenny Omega and Okada in the Tokyo Dome over and over again. I can watch HBK and The Undertaker at WrestleMania 25 over again. I can watch stuff like the X Division match, what's it called? Ultimate X? Was it Ultimate X? Where it was AJ Styles, Danielson, and Joe, and they all had... Ultimate X was this weird TNA thing when they still had the six-sided ring, and they had to climb and try to get the title from the middle of the ring. I don't remember what the pay-per-view was, though. Was it Ultimate X? But anyways, there's a really great match with Joe, Christopher Daniels, Joe, and AJ Styles. And this was during the TNA days. I think it was 05. I can watch that match over and over again. Like, it is one of the greatest wrestling matches of the TNA days. I can watch all wrestling. I can go back to WCW and watch stuff like, DDP and Goldberg wasn't great. It was a good pay-per-view where they crowned it. But, I can go back to those days and watch Eddie and Ray. Like, Eddie and Ray from Halloween Havoc 97. I can go back and watch that over and over again. And this is the thing that WWE has over UFC and any other sport. The rewatchability, because it has stories behind it. Yes, some people say UFC has stories behind it as well. but not to the level of WWE, not to the level of overall wrestling. Like, stories make people want to come back and re-experience something. It's why people go back year after year and watch people like Muhammad Ali and Mike Tyson, because they want to experience it. And, you know, Muhammad Ali would sell the fight. He would sell the personalities in the fight. And you could say a lot of modern wrestling was built after Muhammad Ali. It was great to see him get his moment going into the Hall of Fame. They should have probably did it when he was alive. But, you know, it's great to see Muhammad Ali in the Hall of Fame, WWE's Hall of Fame now. And, yeah. I just love that wrestling is still at a level in 2024 where we can say we love it, and we can say we watch it, and we can say we don't have to be laughed at as like some trash B roll of what it used to be, grade company of what it used to be. It's probably in the best condition it's been in probably 10 odd years. Since probably 2014. Like, you know, I started this video talking about SummerSlam with John Cena getting nerfed. And they didn't really have a star at that point. I mean, they were definitely pushing Roman. But there was a point where they really didn't have a direction. And it felt like they didn't have a direction. And it was translated on TV. And there was matches on pay-per-views that didn't feel special because you saw them the next night on Raw and the previous night on SmackDown. It's like, it just felt like it all blended together and no one cared. And now it's like, it's starting to get special again. And I love to say that I'm a wrestling fan again. And I think I want to end it there because I think that's the end point. I'm proud to be a wrestling fan again. I like where the industry is. I like the way the industry is going. Even though my guy Roman Reigns lost at WrestleMania, even though he lost, I'm still invigorated by seeing Cody win the title. And I want to see what he's going to continue doing with the title. I mean, look, I'm a wrestling fan. I want to see where this goes. I want to see the story evolve. I want to choose my guy who I want to win the match and say, oh, you know, my guy lost, but damn, that was a good match. I want to see how the winner of that match goes on and does stuff. You know, that's the point of being a wrestling fan. You can have your favorites, but also I really like the idea of, like, even when your favorites aren't doing well, you can still jump around and look at, like, what everyone else is doing. As I said, LA Knight, he won against AJ Styles at WrestleMania this year. He's going to be a massive star. It's just a matter, I mean, he's a massive star already, but it's a matter of, I think he's world title contender eventually. I mean, he's definitely been world title contender. I think he was he in the Chamber? But either way, he is going to be in the world title scene soon, or the WWE title, whatever they call Cody's one. And I think at this point, I'm going to end it there because we're at this point with wrestling that you should just check it out. And I love being a wrestling fan because things feel special again. Obviously, with the main event of WrestleMania, we had The Rock get involved, and then you just hear that pop for The Undertaker. And I've watched that over and over and over and over and over again. It's moments like that that define wrestling. When you think you have it all figured out, because I was saying, oh, Austin's going to come in and help. Austin's going to come in and stun The Rock, and we all think we have it figured out. And then, you know, I should have probably seen the writing on the wall. Rock going around calling himself the final boss. We already have a final boss at WrestleMania, dude. It's The Undertaker. But yes, I'm going to end it there. Thanks for watching this long. If you have, like, subscribe, drop a comment, notify. And yeah, if you're a wrestling fan, jump in my comments, and I love having you on my channel. Like, I know I post a lot about physical media, gaming, all this other stuff, but I love wrestling fans as well. You guys are dedicated. You guys are one of the 3 pillars of my channel. So it's like, I know the wrestling videos don't do as well. They get like 200-300 views compared to the physical media does like thousands of views. Gaming does even more views. But I'm still going to make all categories. I'm still going to make wrestling videos. Because to me, it's not about, oh, I got to monetize this channel. I got to get the most views possible. I don't care about being viral. Really couldn't care. I have a day job. If the channel makes money, great. But it's all about connecting to my community. The community that follows me, I follow you guys. And I love hearing what you guys have to say. Tell me what you thought about WrestleMania. When The Undertaker's gong hit at WrestleMania 40, what was your reaction? Because I was like, oh my god, The Undertaker. And I saw the One Dead Man show. Like, there was moments during the One Dead Man show, because you can't have cameras in there. Undertaker makes you lock your cameras up, your phones up. But there was moments in the One Dead Man show where I kept connecting with The Undertaker. Like, I never talked to him. I was just like, he'll look over and like, some dude gave The Undertaker a beer and he didn't notice it. And I was like, take, like, over there. And he saw me and was like, oh yeah, beer. Everyone was pointing at it. He mentioned Roman Reigns and Bloodline, and I was like, I pointed to the air, and he just looked, he gave me like this weird glance. He was like, put your finger down, dude. Like, he didn't say anything, but the look he gave me was like, put your finger down. Like, but I didn't interrupt The Undertaker. You don't interrupt The Undertaker. And there were people in the One Dead Man show in Sydney that were interrupting The Undertaker. And they found out why you shouldn't interrupt The Undertaker. He said, yeah, basically, he didn't tell him off, but he was just like, shut up, dude. Like, it's my show. I'm the star here. That was a mad show. But I love wrestling. I love wrestling fans. Tell me whatever in the comments about wrestling. Let's have a conversation. I will try to read as much as possible. I can't get around to everyone, but I will reply to people like Ollie Davis says on Wrestle Talk. From out of nowhere, I will just reply to people. I might just like your comment. I might just give it a thumbs up. You won't even know I'm there sometimes. But I'm reading. I'm scrolling through those comments. And I'll see you later. Peace out. Keep watching wrestling. And support your favorites. I'm going to continue to support Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns, head of the table. Tribal chief. They need to do it at SummerSlam though. Rock and Roman. Cody, you got your moment. We didn't get our moment. We want the Rock and Roman. Peace out.